This is terribly nerve-wracking. Whoa, my eyes are up here.
Before we continue, don't forget to press the subscribe button for more videos like this. Welcome back to our channel. We are finally at the city that we were most excited to see on this Europe trip. Welcome to Ljubljana, Slovenia. It's absolutely gorgeous here. All the mountains and the rivers and the lakes. It's absolutely beautiful. But we didn't just come here to look at pretty things. We also wanted to learn a little bit more about Slovenian cuisine.
So today we're going to do one of our favorite things, and we're going to take a cooking class because we like to eat and we like to cook. And we know little to nothing about Slovenian cuisine. But first, let's take a look at this amazing Airbnb we got. This is the nicest accommodation I think we've ever had.
Yeah, we don't usually do room tours, but this one is just so nice. If you are coming to Ljubljana and you're looking for a place to stay here. This is an amazing place. The hosts are wonderful. She gave us so many great tips, and the place is just really comfortable. So let's go take a look around.
Entree. I don't know if that's the word, but we're taking cooking class today, so it works. So you walk in, full kitchen, which is absolutely outstanding. Central heat, full stove, full oven, full sink, gigantic fridge, gigantic freezer, full dining area. You have a beautiful garden view at the back too. And then you proceed. So kitchen, dining room, and then you have a back patio door. And you have a beautiful little seating out there. We like to come and have our coffee in the morning. Go into the living room.
So you got this kind of platform area. It's like 2 floors, but not really. You've got so much storage in here. You can also sit by the windowsill and look out the window. But there's a couch that's pretty comfortable while you're watching TV or whatever, just hang out. And there's a table that rotates. Let's make our way downstairs. And then we've made it to the bedroom. Very comfy bed. You've got a chair here and you have a workstation. And then let's move on to the bathroom.
Bathroom is amazing. Washer, dryer, an absolutely massive soaking tub, giant tall shower head, radiators everywhere. It's absolutely beautiful. I've lived in apartments smaller than this, so this place is quite amazing. But what makes this place extra special is 2 things. First off is the location. This is 2 blocks away from the main train station and the main bus station. There's a grocery store about a 4-minute walk away. Actually, there's a few grocery stores about a 4-minute walk away. And then also Old Town City Square is about 3 blocks away, 4 blocks away. We're super centralized. If we walk 1 block, we can see Ljubljana Castle. Number 2, what makes this place super special is the hosts. We were welcomed with open arms. We had a lovely coffee and tea with our host the other day. When we arrived, the host was inside the unit and they welcomed us. They walked us through the entire unit, showed us all kind of the ins and outs, gave us recommendations, and this is really cool too. So they actually have an entire booklet about need to know, where to go, and they also provide you with a transport card. And you can just load it up and you can use this for everything, which is really cool. Can't recommend it enough or say enough good things about our hosts.
Oh, and if you want to book this Airbnb, we'll link it down below for you.
So on that note, let's venture into this rain and let's go make some food. So they're doing a lot of construction on this building, obviously, but I did take a peek in the kitchen earlier and it looks very nice.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Oh, hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Luca.
Luca, Carrie, nice to meet you.
Welcome inside.
Oh, thank you. Your house is lovely.
Yeah, thanks. This is my shop. It's small, but it works.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
So, what are we gonna do today?
We're gonna be making Štruklji. Štruklji are a traditional Slovenian dish. It's very old. The first recorded recipe is over 1,000 years old. Every village in Slovenia knows of this dish. Everybody's grandmother makes it for special occasions. But yeah, Štruklji, very old dish, very simple to make. The dish I would compare it to is dumplings. It's because it's a lot of dough, it's filling inside, it's cooked. Very simple to make. I'll be explaining as we go.
First things first, that's...
Na zdravje.
Na zdravje.
Na zdravje, we say in Slovenian. Taste-wise, this is similar to blue wine from Germany. Because of the cinnamon and the cloves, it has kind of a Christmassy taste.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
It must taste like chilled mulled wine.
Yeah, similar.
Delicious.
A little bit more sweet.
Mm.
We put it in a nice little black, but it's actually so this is the welcome platter we serve here at Cooking Island. It's very simple, some prosciutto, some cheese, some local bread, and a traditional Slovenian spread made out of cottage cheese and pumpkin oil.
Put those over here.
Yes.
So you can't see the blood on your shirt. Stop watching me get dressed.
So let's just start with making our dough. First things first, we want to make a well in our flour. And once our well is made, then we can just add in our egg into our well. Then I continue with adding in the salt. 3 to 4 turns of this is basically a pinch of salt. Just a little bit. And then we can start adding in, here's your spoon, we can start adding in our vinegar and oil. So we just measure out a teaspoon of oil. I wouldn't recommend olive oil because it's very flavorful. And also a tablespoon of vinegar. This is alcoholic vinegar, but the same as oil, you could use any other type. I wouldn't recommend balsamic as it has too much flavor and aroma. And at this point I like to start mixing it up. I like to create a sort of paste and then just start adding in water once it thickens a bit.
I do like the vinegar trick. I'm not gonna lie, that's great. I'm totally gonna permanently borrow that.
Yeah. It's the secret from our grandmothers. They knew something. So once it starts to become doughy, then I like to just put some flour on my hands and just pour it all out on the table. And then I start making it into a ball and just kneading it. Very, very simple. Yeah, now the dough should still be pretty sticky. The stickier it is, the better it is, but it shouldn't be really sticking to your hands. So try adding flour little by little until you can work with it. With the flour, we want to be as conservative as possible because we want the wettest dough possible to work with. The wetter the dough is going to be, the easier it's going to be to stretch it far. So there's no yellow discoloring, it's nice and smooth, still very sticky, that's the way we want it. Completed lump of dough, very nice, very sticky, very soft. As long as it's nice and smooth, then it should be done. So we just put it back in the bowl, and then we're just gonna drizzle some oil over it, something like this, just to fully cover it, and just kind of massage it in oil, and this will prevent the dough from drying out.
Now we're gonna let it rest. And by movie magic, it's still not done, it just started. So during our break, while we're letting the dough rest, we're doing a small tasting with some delicious wine, and Schnapps is...
No, this is the Williams Christ wine brand. It's Pleterska hruška in Slovenian. It's known as a very delicious pear. Yeah, the monks make it. The monks, they know how to make alcohol. Cheers. Na zdravje.
Zdravje. Oh, it's lovely.
Another shot. It's necessary for bread making.
It's true. It's true.
Bread making is very stressful.
Very, very stressful.
For the next part, we're gonna be making meringue. Meringue will make our filling way softer, so we should just get to it. We're gonna separate an egg, putting the yolk into the cream and putting the egg whites in the metal bowl. For splitting eggs, I usually like to show people the foolproof method. So you just put it in your hand and the yolk doesn't break and you can just sieve it through your fingers and it's a perfect separation and there's no worry for breaking the yolk. So we're gonna be using 2 tricks to make our meringue. The first trick is the metal bowl. If you use a plastic bowl, it takes way longer. The metal bowl creates more friction and the process is just faster. And the second trick we're gonna be using is sugar. We're gonna use a little bit of sugar, a teaspoon of sugar. The granules of the sugar will just physically make the process way faster. Yeah. We're gonna use the mixer for mixing up our meringue. So we're gonna set the meringue aside a little bit, and now we get to flavoring. This is the exciting part. Our crate full of components which we can use to flavor. You could use anything you have at home, just feel free to experiment. But I have some stuff here that's just pretty basic. Different types of honey, maple syrup, vanilla sugar, sugar with orange flavoring, we have sugar with lemon flavoring, different types of nuts. This is walnuts, almonds, coconuts, hazelnuts, chopped almonds. Then we have spices. This is tarragon, usually used in savory dishes, but for this one it's unique and maybe I'll make with this one. Nutmeg, cinnamon, which is very popular, and vanilla paste. I also have chocolate drop. This is unfortunately dark chocolate, which is very hard to use because it's a bit bitter. So yeah, feel free to choose anything, make a combination you like.
Ooh.
I will make something different.
I'm thinking hazelnut, lemon sugar, a bit of vanilla.
Sure, sounds good. So we can just get to the adding of the stuff. There you have a rubber spatula, which we can use to mix in the egg. You can probably feel the difference. There was cottage cheese or skuta, quark in German, and sour cream inside, and also we added the egg yolk.
So quark, egg yolk, and sour cream. Okay.
It's a very universal base, and from here on out you could really spice it however you want it.
I'm curious, what are you gonna do?
I'm probably gonna do the tarragon one, just because I want to show you the flavor.
Okay.
Usually it's not sweet, but with this one it will be. So I'm just gonna add a solid amount of tarragon. You could use less, you could use more. This is a good amount for a start. And then I'm just gonna add in my honey, and I'm gonna measure out about 4 tablespoons of honey. With this dish, you should make it way more sweet than you want it, or at least the cream should feel way sweeter, because the acidity of the cream will take a lot of sweetness out once it's cooked.
And I just put the flavors right inside?
Yeah, we put the flavors in, we mix it up, and I'll bring us a couple of small spoons just to try to taste test our...
Okay, well, let's try some hazelnuts.
This is a good amount for a start. You could definitely put in more. Sure, go for it. Good. Depending on how much hazelnut you want. But this should now give some flavor.
Ooh, vanilla bourbon paste. Probably only just a very small amount. This is sugar.
This is lemon sugar. Yeah.
I've never seen it before.
Ah, okay. If not, you could use just the lemon scrapings. You could just peel off a little bit of a lemon. It would probably taste even better. Yeah. One of these should be enough for the flavor. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. That's awesome.
And if you want to add more sweetness, then I would recommend using other types. Your meringue, so pop it into the big bowl and just fold it, just slowly mixing it and folding it in, making the whole mixture foamy, creamy, cloud-like.
Cloud-like, I like that. Now let's make it
Fold it in.
cloud-like.
The meringue, you have to be a bit careful because you don't want to overfold it. Just gonna put it in the refrigerator, let it rest in the cool. Now we're trying to stretch our dough as big as possible, make it as thin as possible. First things first, we're gonna be using the tablecloths to prepare our dough. They're gonna help us roll up the štrukelj. But to prevent sticking, we're gonna first generously flour down our working surface. Try to cover the whole area.
Now I have too much.
No, it's good. So, once you have your cloth prepared, you just take out your dough, you put it in front of you, you take your rolling pin. What I like to do preemptively is just put a little bit of my flour on the rolling pin, and this will prevent the dough from sticking to the rolling pin. And then you just start stretching it out. Now we're just rolling out the dough, trying to make it as big as possible. So, with the hand stretching, now we want to stretch it through the whole thing. And this technique may look daunting, but it's actually very, very simple.
Wait, the whole thing?
Yeah.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You place one hand underneath, with your second hand you gently press down just to hold it in place, and then grabbing with your fingertips, you just pull out your hand. And the dough stretches and becomes very, very thin, so thin you can see your hands through.
Oh wow, okay.
The dough. With this technique, you stretch it out from the inside, so first making the center nice and thin, and then on the sides it's easier, you just kind of stretch it out like a pizza.
This is terribly nerve-wracking.
But you're doing great. I can see that it's nicely stretching nicely. Don't you do it, don't you grab yourself. He's definitely in the top 10% of the people that come here. Talented guy, for sure. A lot of people have much more problems than he has. Yeah. For example, today I messed it up, he didn't. Even though I'm doing this the 100th time, he's doing it first time, but no, happens to the best of us.
Happens to the best of us.
This is perfect. You were even going above, like beyond the edges, which is unheard of. Very, very nice. So now this is my favorite part of making the štruklji. It's just spreading the dough, spreading the filling on the dough. What you do is put all your filling in the middle of the dough, and then you just spread it out nice and evenly. There's 3 rules to this. The first rule is you want to go as close to your starting edge as possible, even over it, because we want to make a tiny little fold at the start. The second rule is at the sides you want to leave like an inch of door space, so we'll be able to seal the sides. And at the end, you want to leave like 2 inches of space at least, so
Okay.
we'll also be able to seal it over. But yeah, it's very simple to do. Just put it all in the middle, spread it out. The next step, we want to make the tiniest fold we can at the starting edge. Just really small fold. And you want to make it all the way across. So I'll leave you to it. I'll also make mine, which won't be as nice as yours, but still be okay. Now the tinier the fold, the nicer the inside of the spiral. And then what you do is you kind of stretch apart the cloth. And I like to just nudge it over so it starts rolling, and after that you can just lift it up and it rolls into this nice burrito shape thing. So just like this. Yeah. It's easier. This will work perfect. Okay. Just gonna keep on lifting. Wow.
Wow!
So imagine doing this by hand, it would take ages and no way you can make it this nice. But using the tablecloth technique is really simple to make it
Just keep
nice and even. You can put it down and grab it closer. Roll it over itself so it seals in like this, perfect. And this is it. And now on the ends, we just kind of want to seal it in, so we press it down. And I like just to be super safe, just fold it in and just press it together. And this will seal the end from leaking. And this is, I think, the most beautiful so far. Very nice and even.
Ah, don't you tease
me. Great feeling with the rolling. So traditionally this dish would be wrapped in a separate tablecloth, a smaller, just wrapped inside, tied with a string and then cooked in water.
Ah.
My grandmother taught me this technique, which is using saran wrap. So we can use saran wrap to substitute the tablecloth. At home I would still recommend using a tablecloth because this is plastic. Even though it's meant for cooking, I don't think it's like eating it all the time.
It's still plastic.
Yeah, it's still plastic. The saran wrap, just like this. And now we have to prepare it so it won't stick to the surface. And the first thing we're going to use is oil, just like this. So this is about the area of the štrukelj. And to make it a little bit softer on the inside and further prevent sticking, we're going to also use breadcrumbs. And we're just going to sprinkle, this is a lot, but this is enough. We're just going to like spread them out on the area we oiled down. So something just like this, nice to the edge, that's pretty important. And yeah, just something like this. Yeah, just lift it up and it should, yeah, perfect. And now we can use the plastic to kind of roll it in the breadcrumbs, and then we could just continue rolling it, sealing it in the saran wrap. Looking very beautiful.
That's a new technique for me, that's awesome.
And on the sides, you just want to kind of twist it up and make a knot.
Curious about the tablecloth because it's porous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what the difference in like the finished product would be with no ventilation and then
But
with ventilation.
this is a great observation, as we're gonna make holes in the wrap just to simulate the porous of the cloth. So I like to make like 2 rows of holes just like this. So tiny little holes, not too small because you still want to let quite some water through. So just like this, and I'll leave you to do the other side as well.
Whoa. My eyes are up here.
So we're just gonna take our štrukelj and we're just gonna kind of arc it and just put it in a circle, just like this. And we're gonna set a timer for 20 minutes, and after 20 minutes we're just gonna turn it onto the other side to cook it evenly. And mine as well, it's not as pretty, but it should just work. And that's it. That's the whole process. You just need to take it out and plate it, and we're done.
Yay!
So what I did, I just put some butter in a pan. I'm gonna melt it slowly, not too hot. Once it's melted, we're just gonna add in the breadcrumbs and on low heat, mix them until they start to change color. Once they're nice and golden brown, we're gonna stop, and they're gonna be a perfect addition to our štrukelj. Very crispy and butter taste, can't go wrong. Here's our alarm for the štruklji. So we just
Perfect.
take it off, and we're gonna take out our štruklji, remove the lid, and just put them on our tray.
Wow, that's intimidating.
Just like this, and that's it.
What the truth?
Open it up, super simple. Cut out the end of the plastic, and then you can just rip the rest. Just kind of take it out of the plastic.
Ooh, that's got a real nice texture to it.
They're super soft.
I didn't expect that.
Just cut it where it's wrinkled. So once it's cut like this, you have a super nice piece that doesn't look like it's been arced, and the inside is super beautiful. Yes, could be the best that there was in my class.
Oh.
Very nice. A lot of Slovenian restaurants don't make them this well.
Oh.
Not even half the layers we have.
Oh.
Wow, very nice form.
All right, let's try. Again, no idea what to expect, but very, very excited. We have our hazelnut lemon vanilla, and then we have our honey tarragon.
It's just
I like his.
it's great. A little bit of lemon, not very sweet, but flavor-wise delicious.
You're right, the lemon one did come out pretty good. Okay, the flavor's there. The honey tarragon though. I wouldn't have thought tarragon would go so well, but it does.
Oh my gosh. Yep. It's really, really good.
That was amazing. What a great experience. I came in, I didn't know what to expect. That was absolutely phenomenal. I would highly recommend this.
If you do want to book this experience, we're going to link it down below. You can book it from there. And if you do, say hello from the Traveling Chefs. We'll see you next time. Bye!